I'm sitting here thinking about rewriting my money story, and I had to share this with you. So I've already taken off all my makeup for the night. That's my child swing in the corner. I don't know what the audio is going to be like. I had meant to upload a video today. That was my work for today, and I had technical problems and it just didn't get done. So this is the work that I do today. This is the work that I have to do, and that's the price of making my dreams come true. That's the price of rewriting my money story. So when I was a kid, we had this poster up in our house, and there was a quote from Leon Joseph Swenyans, is I think how you say his name. The quote is, "Happy are those who dream dreams and are ready to pay the price to make them come true." And even as a kid, I was like, wow, yes, I have dreams and I must pay the price to make them come true. So what is the price to make them come true? And the poster had, it was a photograph of a woman running at dawn, and it was just a lone woman and she was running. And I thought it was just such a beautiful image, and it stuck with me. So I'm planning out my week, and I am writing in the sidebar. I never know what to put in the sidebar of the planner. What I wrote down is the price of my dreams is actually doing the work. And that is what I'm in the process of doing right now. This is the nitty gritty, right? So this is when you just have to get the work done. So rewriting my money story. What is my money story right now? So growing up, we were very frugal, thrifty. My mother was very thrifty, and she did the absolute best with what she had. And I remember being very conscious of money. My mother's very resourceful, and I know that she passed that on to me. At the moment, my money story is I get by, but there's just enough. There's not much for extras. I must save, I must scrimp. Like that's how it is. That's my money story. It's like saving and holding on to that, holding on to every penny. That is not the money story I want to have going forward. I want to have a money story of abundance and more than enough. And I have everything I could ever want or need. All my bills are paid, and I still have all this money left over. I'm saving 60% of my income, and I still have all this money left over. That is the money story that I want to write for myself. And the price of that money story, of that dream, is actually doing the work. I also know that part of rewriting this story is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that is the most important thing I know, is that I am not someone who shies away from being uncomfortable. I will run into a situation to confront it. If, for example, there's something going on that I'm not sure about, or I don't shy away from confrontation interpersonally or really in any realm of my life. But I am someone that likes to be comfortable. I think that as humans, we're just programmed to be comfortable, or to want to sort of seek that equilibrium. There's something that can be very healing about an equilibrium. However, as I am moving to this new state and this new story that I am writing for myself, it's going to take some discomfort. And if I want this story, I must be okay with that discomfort. So that's something else that I'm working on. And I am giving myself little tasks to make myself be okay with this, to help myself grow. And my thought and my planning is that by giving myself tasks to complete every week, that little dose of sort of stretching or growing each week leads me to a better place, so that I'm making that journey in increments rather than, there's no way to kind of teleport yourself to a better future, right? You have to work on it in increments. Also, to kind of avoid catastrophe, because I know that not avoid catastrophe, because catastrophe just comes and you gotta kind of live with it. I'll give you an example, and I'll leave you with this. For example, when I went on disability after having a child last year, I was not in a place where I was able to save. There was just no extra to save. Any additional savings would have taken a lot of, there just wasn't. So when I went on disability, it took 6 weeks before I got my payments from the state. And during that time, I was 6 weeks with no income. So I missed 2 paychecks. It was terrifying, and it was uncomfortable, and I was freaking out in my head mentally, because I didn't know. There was no definite end to that situation. I didn't know when the disability money would come through. It did come through. And what ended up happening was, because of those forced savings in 6 weeks, and I could have done something. I could have pulled from savings. I mean, there were other avenues that I could have taken. I could have borrowed money if I needed to. So I put myself in this state of like panic and having to cut back for those 6 weeks. It viewed as what I called a catastrophe, what I felt like was a catastrophe. At the end of those 6 weeks, when I got that disability payment, because I had saved, because I had gone on this sort of self-imposed like freak out catastrophe lockdown spending. I didn't spend almost nothing. I had all this money saved up. So when the state disability came in, and it came in a lump sum, it was like all this money all at once. I thought that I needed to reserve a whole bunch for taxes, so I put that aside. Still pending final details, but it looks like there may be some additional leftover, because what I'm thinking of is because this catastrophe happened and it forced me into savings mode, I was able to have all this left over. And I'm not going to say that catastrophes are that catastrophes are necessary to make progress, but I do know that as you move forward incrementally, being prepared for those windfalls when they come helps you be in a better place overall, that will ultimately lead to the changing of your financial DNA. That's just how it's been in my experience. That gradually, bit by bit, the way that my money history is changing has been through the right pieces coming together. So all that to say is I am doing the work right now, and I am bringing those pieces into place. And the more I walk forward, the more work I do, the more progress I'm making. And sometimes it's only like millimeters at a time, but it's like 2 steps forward, a quarter step back, 3 steps forward, a half a step back. And I feel like that's kind of the direction that I'm going as I'm on this path to rewrite my money story, which is something that I am very focused on, and especially now. So one more thing again that I'm doing, sometimes I just don't know where to start, and I so appreciate the work of other people. Something I'm just trying to consume more of the work that I want to be doing. So I'm surrounding myself, not even subconsciously, the books that I read, the podcasts that I'm listening to, the videos that I watch, gradually I'm letting that become more of what I want to become, rather than just kind of mindless stuff. And sometimes I just want to relax at the end of the day, right? I want to watch some mindless gossip or whatever, which is fine. I try to make that, it's like a diet, right? I try to make that only 5 to 10% of my daily intake, and everything else be this nourishing content that helps me grow to become the person that I want to be. So hope that's helpful to you. If you're in a similar situation where you are also trying to rewrite your money story, let me know, and let me know what you are doing to make that a reality. Bye.